Welcome to SAXU Update. When a scene that lasts only a few seconds manages to dominate public conversation for 6 uninterrupted hours, it becomes clear that something more than ordinary romance has taken place. That is exactly what happened with Cha Eun-woo's kissing scene, a moment that appeared quiet and restrained on screen, yet echoed powerfully in the minds of viewers long after it ended. From the moment the episode aired, the atmosphere on social media shifted noticeably. Timelines that had been filled with various topics slowly converged on a single focus: that scene. Short clips were replayed repeatedly, screenshots spread rapidly, and comment sections filled with emotional reactions. For nearly 6 hours, the conversation showed no sign of slowing down. What makes this moment particularly striking is that it was not driven by shock, value, or exaggerated intimacy. Instead, its power lay in its silence. The camera moved slowly, dialogue was minimal, and the background music never overwhelmed the moment. Everything was centered on Cha Eun-woo's expression, hesitant eyes, restrained breathing, and subtle movements that carried deep emotional weight. Many viewers admitted they did not react immediately after the scene ended. There was a pause, a quiet moment where the audience seemed to sit with what they had just witnessed. But that silence did not last long. Within minutes, discussions erupted and continued to flow for hours without interruption. Throughout those 6 hours, conversations branched in many directions. Some viewers analyzed the emotional meaning behind the scene, while others focused on the development of Cha Eun-woo's character within the story. Many described the kiss not as a romantic climax, but as a long-delayed emotional confession spoken without words. Longtime fans of Cha Eun-woo noted a clear shift in his acting approach. Previously known largely for his gentle image and striking visuals, he now appeared more controlled and mature. Every expression felt intentional, every pause carefully placed. This restraint is what made the scene feel authentic and deeply affecting. Adding to the intrigue, the production team chose not to release any official explanation. There were no statements, no behind-the-scenes commentary, and no previews offering clarity. This silence only fueled curiosity, allowing speculation to grow and extending the discussion well beyond the initial 6 hours. Drama critics pointed out that the scene may serve as a turning point in the storyline, not only for the relationship between the characters, but also for the emotional tension that will carry into future episodes. With a single quiet moment, the narrative opened the door to countless questions. What changes after this? Will their bond strengthen or face greater trials? Some viewers described the scene as one of the most realistic portrayals Cha Eun-woo has delivered to date. It was not overly dramatic, nor was it romantically idealized. Instead, it felt awkward, hesitant, and deeply human, reflecting emotions that many recognize from real life. For 6 full hours, online spaces were filled with differing perspectives. Some viewers focused on the romance, others on the director's cinematic choices, and many on the emotional symbolism. Together, these reactions formed a shared experience, one that rarely occurs so organically. In the end, this kissing scene proved a powerful truth. The strength of storytelling does not always lie in grand gestures, but in small, honest moments. Through this quiet scene, Cha Eun-woo managed to pause time, leaving millions of viewers suspended in curiosity and anticipation. 6 hours of discussion may seem brief, but the emotional impact lingers far longer. And as audiences wait for the next episode, one question remains unanswered. Was this moment an ending or only the beginning of something much deeper? As the conversation continued to unfold, many viewers began revisiting earlier episodes, searching for subtle clues that might have led to this moment. Scenes that once seemed ordinary were suddenly reinterpreted, their meanings reshaped by the weight of that single kiss. Small gestures, lingering glances, and unfinished conversations gained new significance, reinforcing the idea that this moment had been carefully built over time. The ripple effect extended beyond casual viewers. Fan communities across different platforms organized detailed discussions, breaking down the scene frame by frame. Some focused on the lighting choices, noting how the soft shadows heightened the intimacy without overwhelming it. Others pointed out the deliberate pacing, suggesting that the director intended viewers to feel the same hesitation and uncertainty as the characters themselves. Industry observers also weighed in, noting how rare it is for a restrained, romantic scene to generate such sustained engagement. In an era where bold plot twists and dramatic confrontations often dominate attention, this moment stood out precisely because it resisted excess. Its success highlighted a growing audience appetite for emotionally grounded, storytelling scenes that trust viewers to feel rather than be told what to feel. For Cha Eun-woo, the response marked another meaningful chapter in his evolving career. While his visuals have long been acknowledged, this scene reignited discussion about his range as an actor. Critics noted that his performance relied less on dialogue and more on emotional presence, signaling a deeper confidence in his craft. It was a performance that did not demand attention, yet effortlessly held it. As hours turned into a full day, the scene continued to resurface in trending topics, reaction videos, and editorial commentary. Each retelling added another layer to its legacy, transforming a fleeting moment into a cultural reference point. Viewers who had not yet watched the episode found themselves drawn in by the sheer intensity of the discussion surrounding it. What remains most striking is how the scene continues to invite interpretation rather than offering clear answers. It neither confirms nor resolves everything. Instead, it lingers much like the emotions it portrays. That ambiguity has become its greatest strength, allowing each viewer to connect with it in a personal way. As anticipation builds for upcoming episodes, expectations are tempered with uncertainty. The kiss may have opened a door, but what lies beyond it is still unclear. Will the characters move forward with newfound honesty, or will unspoken fears pull them apart once again? The story now carries a tension that did not exist before, and viewers are keenly aware of it. Ultimately, this moment has transcended its original context. It is no longer just a scene within a drama, but a shared emotional experience, one that continues to resonate long after the screen fades to black. In choosing subtlety over spectacle, the story has achieved something rare. It has stayed with its audience, quietly, persistently, and deeply. And as the discussion continues, one truth becomes increasingly evident sometimes. The scenes that speak the least are the ones that are heard the longest. As time passed, the discussion began to shift from what happened to why it mattered. Viewers reflected on their own emotional reactions, sharing how the scene lingered with them long after the episode ended. Many described replaying it not for the kiss itself, but for the silence surrounding it, the pause that felt heavy with unspoken emotion. The scene also sparked broader conversations about how intimacy is portrayed in modern dramas. Rather than relying on overt displays of affection, this moment demonstrated how restraint can create a stronger emotional impact. By allowing space for vulnerability and hesitation, the story mirrored real human connections, making the moment feel both intimate and relatable. Within fan spaces, comparisons emerged between this scene and earlier romantic moments in Cha Eun-woo's career. Fans noted a visible evolution, observing how he now conveys emotional complexity through subtle facial expressions and controlled body language. This growth, they argued, reflects an actor who has become more comfortable inhabiting quiet emotional spaces. Media outlets soon began referencing the scene as an example of effective storytelling through minimalism. Articles and opinion pieces highlighted how a single, carefully constructed moment could generate hours of conversation without relying on dramatic twists. In doing so, the scene challenged assumptions about what keeps audiences engaged in a crowded entertainment landscape. Behind the scenes, industry insiders suggested that such moments are the result of deliberate collaboration between actor, director, and cinematographer. Every pause, camera angle, and shift in expression appeared intentional, reinforcing the sense that the scene was designed to be felt rather than explained. As discussions continued to circulate, anticipation for the next episode grew steadily. Viewers expressed both excitement and apprehension, aware that the emotional balance established by the kiss could easily shift. Expectations were no longer focused on dramatic revelations, but on emotional consequences, how the characters would carry this moment forward. For many, the scene became a reminder of why they are drawn to character-driven stories. It reaffirmed that emotional authenticity often leaves a stronger impression than spectacle. Long after trending lists update and conversations move on, moments like this remain quietly embedded in memory. In the broader context of the drama, the kiss now stands as a narrative marker, a before and after. Whatever unfolds next will inevitably be shaped by it, giving the scene a lasting significance beyond its brief screen time. As viewers continue to revisit and reinterpret the moment, its presence endures. Not as a loud statement, but as a quiet echo, one that continues to shape the emotional rhythm of the story and the expectations of those watching closely. In conclusion, Cha Eun-woo's kissing scene proved that a powerful moment does not need excess to leave a lasting mark. Through restraint, silence, and emotional precision, the scene transformed a few seconds of screen time into hours of discussion and reflection. What made it memorable was not the act itself, but the emotions it carried and the questions it left behind. More than a romantic highlight, the moment became a turning point, both for the story and for how audiences perceive Cha Eun-woo's growth as an actor. It showcased a deeper maturity in performance and storytelling, reminding viewers that intimacy can be expressed most strongly through what remains unspoken. As the drama moves forward, this scene will likely be remembered as a defining pause in the narrative, a quiet moment that reshaped expectations and emotional stakes. And long after the conversations fade, its impact endures, standing as proof that sometimes the softest scenes resonate the loudest.